It was a visit to Washington, D.C. for a 4-day workshop called Backpack Journalism that led to my awareness of green roofs.
That could be the beginning of the piece. At some point, we have to hear her talk about.
The class required participants to choose a story idea and to make this topic into a brief documentary. I already had an idea that interested me: the environment. Not knowing what Washington, D.C. might offer on the topic, my instructors referred me to DC Greenworks, an organization that installs green roofs on traditional, environmentally unfriendly buildings. It turns out they are a non-profit organization with dedicated staff and even volunteers who install these green technologies in building structures. This company worked with American University to help it become one of the greenest institutions in the region.
We did a green roof installation for them on the Kogod building. That's their business school. We did 2 terraces, about 1,100 square feet apiece. Involved about 60 volunteers on that project over 5 days and installed the 2 green roofs. They also have green roofs on their SIS building, their media center, and the Cats and Arts building. American University is quickly becoming a leader in the U.S. for sustainability, but especially for green roofs. My name's Ty Voiles. I'm the project manager at DC Greenworks, and this is the middle of a green roof installation. To give you a little bit of background on green roofs, they're a system of 5 layers set atop a waterproofing membrane. We've got a root barrier, we've got a drainage layer, we've got a filter fabric, we've got growing medium, and we've got plants. So DC Greenworks is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission is to grow livable communities using living materials. So as you can see, we've used plants. Here on this roof, we use a lot of plants for vegetable gardens, for environmental education, for school gardens, school outreach, native and pollinator gardens. And then we also try to harness the human element with that as well through our volunteer outreach. So environmental benefits for green roofs in the Washington, D.C. area predominantly focus on stormwater management. In D.C. we have a really old sewer stormwater system where wastewater from your house and runoff from thunderstorms combine in the sewer, and when it rains very heavily, all of our human waste and wastewater runs out into our rivers. The green roofs serve to actually store a lot of that water on site, so at least the first inch worth of rainfall in a system that's this thick, 4 inches thick, will be kept on site. Really helps reduce the amount of water that's entering the wastewater system and reduces the load on our treatment system. We've also got some energy benefits as well, so the heating and cooling demand for this building will be reduced by the green roof being on top. It comes through a couple of different things. One is thermal insulation, which is a minimal benefit to the system, but more in the summer we have the plants up here, which are evapotranspirating, so they're taking water that's stored, and it's actually a net energy loss when they transfer those to food for themselves, and they cool the roof, cool the temperature above. It's definitely a national movement at this point. Chicago is probably the leading city as far as green roofs go. They've got the largest coverage. Washington, D.C. is actually the second behind Chicago for a much smaller city. Has really good coverage as well. We've got just over 500,000 square feet worth of green roof in D.C., and it's growing on a yearly basis. We see it used for stormwater capacity in Seattle, in Portland, in New York City, pretty much all across the country. So for the folks behind me, we've got 4 volunteers out here and 1 of our staff members. Folks learning on the job. We do a safety training, we do an educational piece about green roofs, talk about the benefits they provide and how they're going to be installed. We have those volunteers work side by side and hand in hand with us so that they become advocates as well as become educated about the process here.
I think I heard about this, about DC Greenworks at a lecture at the Department of the Interior about their green roof, and they were talking about all that they do in DC and the DC area to make green roofs happen, and I was just excited that volunteers could get a chance to help out. So I haven't been here very long, but it's a neat experience to be working with other like-minded people and to be putting plants on a roof.
After this whole experience, I'm on my way back to Florida with greater insights and a renewed passion for environmentalism and how I can pass this on to others.